Grown men fighting over toys. Sad. Just sad.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, A Steam Horror in the Hamptons. The aspiring angel tries to escape a house of horrors in this action-packed, all-new Esteem series adventure. Get your copy of Esteem Horror in the Hamptons in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Is toy collecting really that serious? That's the critical question I've got to ask after I've gotten several comments on my G.I. Joe Classified video. Now, a couple of days ago, I made a commentary regarding all of the drama going on as related to the YouTube sector that collects G.I. Joe Classified, and I didn't know it was that serious as related to people getting upset over things like picture revelations. Now, when it comes to toy collecting, I've been doing this for over 30 plus years. I started way back in 1988 when my brother gave me two Voltron Deluxes to go along with the Lion Voltron my mother gave me, and I have never seen people getting this crazy over toys ever since this G.I. Joe Classified drama started. Now, I'm hearing that all of this drama is basically because people want credit for pictures that leak as related to revelations of upcoming figures, and this is one of the reasons why there's been all of this false flagging going on as related to channels like Viper Island and the efforts to try to take the channel of Artist Shark down. And that really again has me scratching my head because I've been collecting toys for over 30 years and I never saw people getting upset over leaked photos of toys that are gonna come out. No, I've never seen people act like this at all, even in the early days of toy collecting, when me and my brother used to go down to the toy fair at the Toy Building in New York, and we would go out here and pick up the catalogs for Playmates, Kenner, and Hasbro. I mean, I had all of those catalogs for many years of a lot of 90s toys, and it never really got that crazy as related to things back then, and it didn't even get crazy about things when things went online with websites like Raving Toy Maniac. And I remember back in the days of the Raving Toy Maniac and early Fwoosh days where guys were out here, yeah, there would be stuff that would leak, but people were not losing their minds over it. I mean, leaks have been a part of the toy collecting business ever since the days of the late 80s. I remember there being leaks that were presented at Comic-Cons and at toy shows, and when Raving Toy Maniac started back in the late 90s, there were leaks as related to different superhero lines, and people just rolled with this stuff and just took it as the rumors until the toys started to get revealed. But it wasn't until we got the G.I. Joe Classified stuff that we started seeing all of these guys trying to turn this into online drama on social media. No, back in the day, I mean, I remember during the days of DC Universe Classics where Scott Nicklick basically used that type of system of leaks to basically start generating buzz for the DC Universe Classics line. Again, I talk about how in the previous video, how me and my brother went to the 2008 New York Comic Con. We were sitting in the front row of this Mattel event, and basically after the end of the event where he showed the Masters of the Universe Classics and DC Universe Classics, Scott would basically put up a slide of a future figure like he did with the Joker at the 2009 Comic Con, and they basically would use this to tease a future wave and look to build up that buzz on message boards like the Fwoosh back in 2008-2009 and get people excited to start looking to put in their orders and their pre-orders with stores like Big Bad Toy Store. I remember back then that's what they would use this for, but what we're seeing now, which is really quite troubling, is this whole plan to, again, for guys to go out here and look to get clout from these pictures of things like pictures of prototypes or rejects of G.I. Joe Classified body parts like heads and torsos, like in the case of Nemesis Immortal, or pictures of upcoming stuff like on Hasbro live streams. I mean, this is stuff that has been leaked for many years, And even in the Marvel Legends community, we know all about these leaks. I mean, we've had leaks go out as related to many Walmart listings. I mean, people would go into the Walmart system, and all of this is again meant to generate buzz. But what these guys want to do on social media is generate buzz for their channel and get clicks and views, because that represents AdSense dollars. Moreover, on live streams, what they're looking to do is get that super chat and Cash App money. And that's really sad, because you would think guys who are toy collectors would have their own money to be able to cover these figures and not really need the YouTube money. I mean, as a guy who's been collecting toys for years, I would think I would like to go out here and get my own money from my own live streams that I do outside of toys. I mean, even though I've collected toys for 30 years, I've never done a toy live stream, and I only did a couple of toy review videos. I recently did one for the Giant Man figure of the Giant Man and Wasp 2-pack, and I recently did a review video of Action Forces Gemini, which is a very sturdy figure and very solid built as related to Valaverse. But I never seen no craziness like this, where you got dudes looking to go into beefs and arguments and form cliques. I mean, that's some feminine stuff when I think about it. I mean, that's some feminine stuff that only effeminate guys do. And effeminate guys getting upset over somebody taking a picture and posting it up online of a leaked photo that basically came out of China. And again, this picture came out of China, and I believe in many cases executives deliberately let these pictures come out of these reject parts, because their ultimate goal is to make profit on these toy lines. Their ultimate goal is to make a profit on these toy lines and be able to make money on these toy lines. And part of that business is going out here and generating buzz by leaking a couple of photos of a unpainted prototype. I mean, this was done in Transformers alternators. Again, I collected Transformers alternators years ago, and I still have those toys. And they used to leak all of those alternators, and you didn't see the Transformers alternators guys getting mad. No, we would see the unpainted prototypes of different characters and get excited, and that would build up that buzz to generate those pre-orders. And those pre-orders basically meant that the company like Hasbro was going to get a guaranteed sale from a base of customers. But what's happening, instead of the base of customers getting excited for the product, what they're doing is turning inward. And as they turn inward, what they're doing is getting into back and forth over clout and credit. And that's really ruining the whole toy collecting game for most of us other collectors who just want to enjoy the toys. I mean, all I want to do is just enjoy the toys. Yes, I do like the fact that guys like Artist Shark and go out here and look to get information on these toys the same way my brother and I used to do when we used to go to Toy Fair to go check out lines of toys like Star Trek The Next Generation, the 90s X-Men line, Total Justice, I mean, Superman Man of Steel. I remember going and seeing these at the toy building directly back in 93, from 1992 to about 1995. I mean, before the internet, you had to go to the toy building and check these toys out. And things have progressed to the point where we no longer have to be a buyer at Toy Fair in order to look at future toys. No, we can go out and just see these toys online. And in fact, the companies are presenting the toys to us directly in a live stream. And a lot of folks don't appreciate that we are getting these toys presented to us, because they're looking to try to make money on trying to sell information, not understanding that part of this information was deliberately put out there to build excitement, because the ultimate goal is to get people excited about these toys to the point where you got folks looking to put in their pre-orders, put in those pre-orders on these toys, and even look to pay full price for them. But we've got a lot of guys, again, looking to go into these beefs and arguments over, again, as there are toys that cost $4 to make in China, sold at stores like Big Bad Toy Store and Amazon for $26, and eventually will be clearanced out at Ollie's. But these guys are afraid that their bank accounts are going to get cleared out, as related to YouTube. And as they're out here looking to get clout on YouTube and looking to be top in the YouTube game, that really, again, shows how sad they are, because as a content creator myself, I know that if you know how to make content, you're going to get those views, you're going to get that ad revenue, and you ain't got to worry about undercutting competition. No, if your content is good and you've got a great presence and personality, you can go out here and sell those toys for Hasbro. And I'm not, again, looking to bootlick to get some freebies from Hasbro, because I know that as these toys go out, in and out, people are just very flaky, and they will basically buy toys like this A4 She-Hulk, which again was a figure that was costing big money at one time, but now that we've got the Iron Man Wave She-Hulk from the retro line, it ain't really pulling that much money. I got one on eBay right now, trying to clear out stuff so that I can buy new stuff. But the whole thing is, I'm not chasing toys for clout. No, this is something that has been a passion of mine ever since I was about 15 years old, and I got Voltrons from my mother and my brother to be able to have the original Voltron Deluxes. I mean, I have been in this toy collecting hobby for over 30 years, and again, I ain't seen no nonsense like this, where you got grown men arguing over G.I. Joe classified figures. Again, these were figures we have been waiting years for. I mean, as a collector, I wanted G.I. Joes when I was a kid, but those 3 3/4 figures were just so fragile, and I'm just glad to be able to have the opportunity to be able to have 6-inch Joes. And I mean, I've wanted them ever since the days I saw Double Dealer doing customs on his own website, and now he's working for Hasbro. And it's just sad to me to see grown men forming cliques and factions over toys that, again, are made in China, and upset about toys owned by Hasbro, and they ain't making none of that money. But they want to make that YouTube money as related to those AdSense dollars. They want to make that money as related to those AdSense dollars and pull that cash. And it's really sad that they're going out here having these back and forths, because usually the toy community is very civil. I mean, I've been collecting different lines for years, and people are usually cool with each other, and they're usually cool about sharing information, and they're not usually upset too much about credit for different pictures, because they know all the pictures are usually leaked by Hasbro or Toy Biz or Mattel or other companies like McFarlane. This is something that has been done under the table for years. It's always been a secret, just like the leaked Walmart lists, because toy companies don't want to take losses. And since toy companies don't want to take losses, what they do is go out and try to leak this information to, again, generate that excitement, generate that buzz, get people excited to the point where they put in those pre-orders. It's all part of the business model of toy collecting. It's all part of the business model of getting a marketing plan for toys, because when it comes to adult collectors, they need to get people excited early on, so that 6 months later, when the product is on the shelf, people are ready to go out here and buy it, in large numbers, so that they can cover the minimum orders as related to these products. So there's a whole business process behind it, but you got guys on social media looking to clout chase, don't understand the game, want to say, I don't know the game. No, I was at the toy building back in the 90s with my brother when I was in college, learning about the toy business and learning about how the toy business works. So you can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. No, I've known about this for years, about how they go out here and deliberately leak. Again, they started leaking in the 90s when they saw that there was a adult collector market. That's when they really started leaking, around 97, 98, 99. They really started walking away from the catalog model once the internet started, and they started walking towards the leaking model, because leaking got guys to stand outside of Toys R Us, got guys to stand outside of KB Toys, got people to stand outside the store in the snow and the rain looking for figures like those early Marvel figures, and in the X-Men line, the Spider-Man line, Spider-Man Classics, and lines like the early Marvel Legends. This is how merchandise got moved in those lines, and it also got stuff moved with the DC Superheroes line and the DC Universe Classics line. So I know all about this business, know about it like the back of my hand, and know that, again, these companies deliberately do this, and they do it even before Toy Fair, because once they start seeing people chattering on those message boards, it gets people, again, talking about toys, and they want people talking about toys to be able to buy the product, and that chatter can basically even kill a line before it begins. I remember when Mattel was about to release the Flashpoint Plastic Man and some other figures when they were launching the new 52 type figures, and wound up canceling it because of the bad buzz that was online. So I know all about how these toy lines work. So I'm not, again, a guy who does this for clicks and views. I'm a guy who does just comics, science fiction, and fantasy, and part of my hobby was toy collecting on the side, and I never really thought about, again, doing toy review videos at all, because, again, I've done reviews for Gemini, and it didn't really get that many views. I do comic review videos. Those are some of the poorest viewed on this channel. But I, as somebody who's a toy collector, again, I came from my experience as a toy collector to let everybody know that this behavior from classified collectors who are acting out is unnatural. The false flagging is something that's detrimental to the business, because Hasbro wants that information out there. And you guys fighting over credit doesn't really matter to Hasbro, because what they want is pre-orders. What they want is guaranteed revenue coming in from these lines. They want guaranteed money coming in, and these guys are basically messing with the flow of money, because Hasbro ain't the one filing these copyright strikes, because in order to do that, you need to have a DMCA that says it's directly from Hasbro, and we don't know if that is in the case, and that's why I wanted to see if Shark talks about who filed a DMCA copyright strike against him, because again, you cannot just file copyright strikes unless you have a DMCA that's filed to YouTube. So I'm looking at this, and again, it's looking like people false flagging over information and copyrights that aren't even theirs, because they want to be able to make money on live streams and revenue as related to super chats, which really super chats ain't no money. I know, because I've done live streams for the last 5 years, and super chats, Google takes a good chunk of that money, about a third of that money, and you ain't getting much of that. I mean, it's much better if people send you a Cash App directly, because you get 100% of that money. But when you're clout chasing and in your feelings, you don't really know how to make money on social media. Don't know how to make money on social media, because you're thinking, oh, this AdSense money is good, and this super chat money is good. But it's, the whole thing is, there's lots more money better out there as related to money. You can make money on Cash Apps and PayPal. Again, with people donating money to get you the whole wave, because you're giving them information. But these guys don't know how to work the system, don't know how the toy business works. And again, I'm wondering, is it really that serious about toy collecting? Because I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm wondering, is it really that serious that guys are getting this emotional over toys? Now, if you want to see me be able to expand my toy collection, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to check out some of my action-packed fantasy fiction on the SJS Direct imprint of the SJS Direct universe, you can pick up the books of the ISIS series, the Esteem series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my vampire novel Eternal Night, my sorority novel The Thetas, or my you can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And if you want to check out my first full comic, Esteem No Good Deed, it's on Kindle for 99 cents. And if you want to check out my first full comic featuring John Haynes, you can find that comic on Lulu.com. So I've been in this hobby for a long time, and I'm just talking about what I'm thinking about regarding these toys and the insanity I see going on around me. And that's all I have to say for this video talking about toys. If you want me to talk about more videos regarding toys, just let me know. But until then, you can just rate, comment, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Amari's Revenge. The goddess next door is confronted by a Nubian queen out for revenge at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in this inaugural Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis: Amari's Revenge in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes' Illuminati, the man who rules the world, takes on the head of the global elite in this all-new action-packed John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' Illuminati in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis: Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis: Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.